sketchbooks from ages 11 to 21. The thing is, I never really finished any of my sketchbooks, so they're kind of all over the place. I would start a sketchbook and then I'd not do anything in it for years, and then I'd come back to it. So some of this is sort of all over the place, but let's get started because we have a lot to go through. We're gonna start off with my first sketchbook ever. It's actually not my first sketchbook. It's my first artist grade sketchbook. So this was the first time I got real artist materials. I was 11 years old and I'd been drawing for a while, and I remember all I wanted was Strathmore tone tan paper because I saw everyone on Instagram was using Strathmore tone tan paper. Let's look at the first drawing I ever did with Prismacolors on tone tan. I vividly remember doing this drawing because I just remember how happy I was to finally be using Prismacolor pencils. Just a very big moment for me. Anyway, so this was done in April 2015. This was when I got 1,000 followers on Instagram. That's so cute. I'd make a drawing for every milestone that we hit. I should start doing that again. You're gonna see a lot of these. Of course, we have the emojis because that was the vibe at the time. That's cute. I was so inspired by drawings that used blue as shading. That was so interesting to me, and it was something I always tried to replicate. Aww. This is the first drawing you'll see on my Instagram. I had a phase where I just drew a bunch of Disney characters. I think a lot of young artists had that phase. This was still in April, so you see I was very productive. And I think this is one of the first drawings that I was very, very proud of. I was just so proud of the shading and everything. Mickey Mouse. This was a sketch of one of my friends. We have some strawberries. I was getting better at realism. Oh, this is cute. So my dad, he used to do a lot of cartoons when he was in college, and I think mostly through college. He has like this whole book of the cartoons that he made. So I asked him if we could do a collab. So then he did the sketch and I colored it in. That's cute. We have Merida. That's kind of cool. This was still May. So I was so productive. The bubblegum girl, the character I made up, I think. Ooh, we have SpongeBob. I remember being so proud of this one. This is actually really cute. Remember, I was 11. That's crazy. I'm gonna give myself credit for that. Ooh, that's kind of scary. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. These are better. A heart. So, you know how there's no unicorn emoji? I loved how this came out when I did it. That's kind of cute still. I remember I would make like 2 drawings a week and I'd be so productive. Even more, I'd do like 1 drawing a day. I'd just be so productive because I was just so excited to make the next drawing. Isn't that cute? I was just so passionate about drawing and getting better. And you can like see how I got better throughout this sketchbook. Cute. Ooh, I don't know about this one. It's kind of creepy. I used a lot of gel pen. I remember loving gel pen, as you can see. This one was like purely for an Instagram. Well, all of these were basically purely for Instagram posts because I would post every single one. But this was supposed to be like an interactive drawing. This is so nice. Over time, I got like so much better at blending, and I was celebrating 8,000 followers. Aww. Oh, that's so cute. Christmas bowl. Okay, no, we're not finished. Oh, this was actually in April. I think I took the sketchbook apart and rearranged the drawings. She's cute. Ooh, the egg. If you were there at the time, you'd know that drawing eggs was a huge thing. Those eyebrows are so harsh. Ugh. This is like the basic white girl emoji. I didn't even drink Starbucks. They don't even have Starbucks where I live. I was just so chronically online. I was such a chronically online 11-year-old. I actually had no friends. I only had my internet friends, and that's the truth. So that's cute. That is like my first official sketchbook, and it seems to me that I finished it, which is very rare, but it's cute. Let's go to the next one. Let's see what we have in here. Ooh, that's scary. That's not very fun. That's cute. Oh, I think it's this way. I think this was a follower. Ugh. I like the attempt of like the style sort of. 1.5 thousand followers. I remember being proud with this one. I don't know what it means, but love. Wow, I was obsessed with drawing hair because of Christina Webb. Christina Webb had me at chokehold. That awkward moment when you have no inspiration. That's cute. This is just so Christina Webb. You can sort of... I have no words for this. The Galaxy Pineapple. Believe it or not, so many people copied this Galaxy Pineapple. It was like a moment. I even made merch. Let me show you. This is my Galaxy Pineapple pencil case. I could see this selling in like Claire's maybe. Told me this isn't cute. And I had a t-shirt and everything. So I think at this time I actually had like a feather in my hair. I was one of those 11-year-olds. See, that's kind of creepy. That isn't the vibe. That's kind of terrifying. Oh, you know who this is? This is Fetching Tigers. If you know, you know. I didn't even get any hate at this time. I needed to make that clear. Very inspiring. I remember this was like a big hit for like my parents at least. They were like so impressed. Ooh, I still love this one. I vividly remember my dad helping me with this. So I have like a very fond memory of this donut. And I just remember loving how it came out as well. I remember it was just such a good feeling when one of my drawings looked really good, and that gave me enough motivation to just keep drawing until the next one came out really good. This donut was it gave me such a boost in my confidence, and I just remember being so proud of how that came out. That's kind of cool. This was also a thing of the time. Apps and fruit, and I just thought it was an amazing concept. As you can see, I really needed to sign my name and my signature, so there was no confusion whatsoever. That's cute. Here we have Baymax, the Instagram app, the YouTube app, an emoji, of course, a paintbrush, wow, and a phone. But my phone was my whole entire life. Like, apps were my whole life, but it was because I had no friends. Does anyone else remember watching the See You Again music video and crying? Because that hit me hard as an 11-year-old. I remember that being the most devastating thing I'd ever watched in my 12 years of life. So of course I had to express those emotions. Oh my gosh, I had this phase where I would do profile pictures for people because that was also something that was trending at the time, like drawn profile pictures, and I was like, I can do that. So I actually made some money off of this, and I made a few. And I remember this one guy wanted me to do his username, but his username had the F word in it, and it was such a big like discussion between me and my parents, like, should I do it, should I not do it? I ended up turning it down because I didn't want to write the F word. Love needs to be watered. You know what? It really does. I think this was like for a competition or something. It's Elsa if she was the water queen instead of the ice queen. This is what I'm saying. The fruit, like as the filling for an app. I don't know what the obsession was. It's quite interesting actually, but I still prefer the first one. This is one of the profile pictures that I made. Savage Students. It was like one of those repost pages. And I was 12, like probably 20 bucks for a profile picture. I made two. I think either he didn't like this one or I gave him two options. Crazy tapes, rich snaps, must admit. I made so many. I made some good money, I think. Rich snaps. Did he not? I think some of them asked me to redo the profile picture. That's so rude. A1 highlights. Admit. There are so many, oh my gosh, and I remember being so stressed about these. New Year's resolution. Oh, I was celebrating 1 year on Insta. That's cute. I've been on Insta for 10 years now. Believe in him. Love is all you need. Creative stars. I made my own profile picture this time. This is giving pride. I don't know if that was the intention. Raining cats and dogs. Wow. The obsession with emojis and galaxies. It was all the rage at the time. A lot of these are just different versions of drawings my friends had made. I remember that specifically. I just like recreate a drawing of theirs and give them credit in the caption. I love drawing puzzles. Summer vibes. I don't remember what this was for, but it was for something. Oh, I think it was like for people to like color in. 20,000 followers. That's crazy. So of course I had to make some app cupcakes, but the people loved it. I was getting better at portrait drawing, I think. Yeah. I'm referencing the photos I posted on Instagram because that will tell me the exact date that I made the drawing and my exact age. I started the sketchbook 1st of September 2016. So I was just about to turn 13. So starting off with this was supposed to be Belle or something. What is up with the emojis and galaxies? Yeah, this got 5,000 likes, which at the time was a big deal for me. This is what I mean when I say everything's all over the place. Some of this was done like before the other sketchbook and some of the other sketchbook was done after, and some of this was done. Anyway, it's just a mix. Now that I think of it, it's crazy that I had 10,000 followers. I genuinely don't know why I had so many followers. We have Twix. You can see I was sort of getting better at realism. I'd spend hours drawing. Like I said, I had no friends. I would come home from school and spend like the whole afternoon drawing and the whole weekend as well. I'd spend the whole weekend drawing and taking photos of my drawings and posting them. I was trying to do like those ultra realistic object drawings. I always overdid the highlights. Interesting. We have the waffles. What even are these? Are they donuts? I didn't even use We Heart It. In my defense, like I said, it was a huge thing at the time. Like, this is kind of cool. Some eye drawings. Okay, now we've jumped in time. So I think, let me check how old I was when I did this. Yeah, this was 2018, so I was 14 when I did this. It was a year later. That's kind of cool. Anyway, that is the end of the sketchbook, and on to the next. Okay, we have one more of these. That is scary. I don't know what that is. Another emoji. Can you believe it? 5,000 followers. Pizza. Very 12-year-old things. Unfinished drawing. Ooh, does anyone remember this lady? She would post these, like this mouth and makeup photography, but mostly of like lips. And then young artists would draw her photos and then she'd get really upset that we weren't giving her credit. She was right, but also most of us were 12 and 13-year-olds. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. So I remember she was kind of rude. This is kind of pretty. Wow. I don't know what changed, but something shifted and I just got so much better out of nowhere. All the details and everything, just all of a sudden, and my art just started getting so much better. I remember there was just this big shift in my art. It's a little flower in the iris. I like how this one came out. That's cute. I remember this. I love the colors that I used here. If I were to do like a pencil color drawing now, I think I would use similar colors. I remember someone commenting on this photo saying I did her so bad. I still don't think I did her so bad. Like, the proportions aren't amazing, but I think she looks cute. Like, another Georgia Smith drawing. It was done in 2022. This was so much more recent. I love the details. I think this was for my university class. And that is it. Okay, I have one more small, tiny sketchbook. I'm gonna try and go quicker. I started this when I was 12. It's probably like 12 to 14. I remember being so proud with how this came out. I was actually 12. That is crazy. Unfinished. Another Disney character. I think I was 14 by this time. I was actually 15. What's his name? I forget. Cole Sprouse. This is nice. Honestly, I like how black her hair is, and I like the shading, and I like the red lipstick. I have no complaints. This is also kind of nice. I was also obsessed with Shawn Mendes. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Leonardo DiCaprio. I was obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio. Ooh. See, this didn't age well. I think none of these aged well, to be honest. Timothy. I don't know what the red background is. That's cute. I like that. I remember this was I was bored, so I posted a story telling people when I was like probably 16. This was probably during the pandemic, and I posted on my Finsta saying that if you reply to this, I'll draw you. So I drew like a bunch of people from my hometown. I honestly just wanted attention. Young and sweet, only 17. Clearly, I had just turned 17. We just jumped in time. Oh, this is stuff from university. I'm just gonna go through it quick, even though by this time I was 18. I was getting my degree in design, so. This was the room that I was staying in. Wait, this is so cool. This just like brought back so many memories. I'm gonna start doing this now, the places where I am, so I can remember them. Because seeing this just inserted me back into that place. That's so cool. I remember this. This was for a print because at this time I had my clothing brand and it was an experiment, but I didn't end up using it really. Perspective from one of my classes. This was also for one of my drawing classes. This was when I was gonna illustrate a book, but it didn't end up happening. But I was trying to like develop a character. That. I don't know. Ooh, we have some more here. Ooh. Wait, we have some interesting stuff here. This was for some clothes I was trying to design for my clothing brand. The pants were the only thing that ended up happening. That was really fun. I really want to get back to making clothes. But also like some plans for the t-shirt. That's so cool. Okay, on to the next. Instead of going one sketchbook to the next, I would draw in a whole bunch of sketchbooks at the same time. So with this sketchbook, we're starting at 12 again. I think this was my first actual colored portrait. Like the skin here looks pretty good. You can see that I have improved since the last time I drew an egg. Okay, this was 20, so I was also 12 when I did this. I remember I was so proud of how this came out, and you could really see the improvement. Yay, this was on my 13th birthday. I should have finished this lovely lip drawing that I did not finish. Another lip drawing I didn't finish. I cut out one of my portraits from here. I like this, and I like how I used like the watercolor in her hair. Her skin looks pretty good. This is another drawing of Fetching Tigers. She was such a big inspiration for me. I think she was probably like 16, so I definitely looked up to her. This is another redraw. Definitely see that I've improved. I still think this is good. I should have finished it. It would have been nice. Oh well. And that is it. I made myself a coffee. As you can see, I took the liberties of decorating it myself. I actually hate the way I decorated this. I really like this sketchbook because I feel like it's some of my favorite drawings from this era. So I was 13 when I started filling in this sketchbook. Ooh, this is one of my first graphite portraits that I took very seriously. It was my favorite for a long time. And this photo was such an iconic photo on Tumblr. What was the obsession with lips? It's like emojis. There's always an obsession. I still love this. I love all the colors that I used. Maybe I should get a light on here. This drawing, I just remember everyone liking this drawing. Remember this was for a collab. Some more lips. I really like these lips. Oh, and it has Frank Ocean lyrics around it. I don't like this as much. The washi tape was an interesting choice. I was trying to get more creative with my drawings and like add in some more elements. but I don't really like these elements. Oh, I really like this one. I feel like I did a really good job in rendering. Who didn't draw Billie Eilish? I remember hating this. This is fun. This is when I did a stamp, but I didn't have any stamp making materials because there is no art shop in my city. So I made it out of what's it called? PVA? I don't know what it's called. This one kind of slaps. I love this drawing. I still love it. I think it's one of my favorite drawings from this era. I remember I started it and I finished it when I was like a year or two later because I actually didn't like how it was coming out, and then I finished it a year later and it became one of my favorite drawings because I just love the colors and I love Jennifer's body. If I don't say so myself, I think I did a really good job on this. This was when Euphoria was at its peak. I think it was in the pandemic. I like the colors. This is an unfinished Billie drawing. And there we have it. I love the paper in the sketchbook. It has like two sides. One of the sides is smoother and then it has rougher sides. I'd actually really recommend this sketchbook. Let me see what it's called. It's a Strathmore sketchbook, 500 series mixed media paper. If you're looking for a good sketchbook for colored pencil drawings, I would 100% recommend this one. I also started this when I was 13. They all have slightly different styles. Billie Eilish, 2017. This was when her username was still Where Are the Avocados. This is proof that I have been a fan. This was before she blew up. So this is embarrassing. This is a drawing of Noah Centineo. And fun fact, I was never able to finish my self-portraits for some weird reason. I just get really insecure and I just wouldn't finish it. Isn't that sad? But now that's why it's really good to be able to paint your own self-portraits. People say it's conceited. I don't think it's conceited. Even if it is, whatever. I think it's really good for your confidence. This is when I drew my followers. This was when was this? I don't even know, man. I think this was 2020 and I was 16. Still the pandemic. This is cute. This was a huge one for me. When I finished this, I was so proud. It became my whole personality for the longest time. I even made prints, but I was just so proud with how this came out. This was like one of those drawings where you realize you've actually improved and it's so satisfying. This is another self-portrait I was never able to finish because I just get super insecure. One mistake I was making is I was using black pen on the eyelashes. I just think that doesn't look good. Don't use black pen on the eyelashes. But this would have been really nice if I finished it. I was so insecure. That makes me sad, actually. I wanted attention, so once again, I asked people to respond and then I drew them. So that is what this is. Ooh, this is ugly, but this is a self-portrait. I think I drew this while looking at myself in the mirror. Okay, next sketchbook. So this is also one of my favorite sketchbooks. Once again, I probably started this when I was 14, so unfinished again. The problem with this is that the tear looks like, it doesn't look like a tear, it looks like a pus. And that looks interesting, but I get the concept. It's interesting. Everyone kept talking about how this tongue looks weird, and now that I look at it, it does look pretty weird, but I was not open to criticism, so. I remember posting this and it getting a lot of likes, and that made me really happy. Another lip drawing. This one's a lot better than the previous one. This became my testing page. This one's really nice. I like this one. For so long, I could not stand the thought of doing big drawings. They scared me so much. Ooh, I had an obsession with the Dolan twins. It gets worse. I had such a big obsession with the Dolan twins. Just one more, guys, just one more. But this one I actually really like. I just love how this came out. Like, I think I did a really good job on the rendering. I don't know what this is. Kind of interesting. This is nice. I like this one. This is Conan Gray. I love the rendering on this one. This is, I don't know what this is. This is fun. This was for, I got like a sponsorship. Yeah, from this watch company. They didn't pay me anything, they just gave me the watch. But I did use the watch, so Ow, 2 eye drawings. I didn't really do that much experimenting, if I'm completely honest. This is that guy from TikTok. You can tell this was in the pandemic. I think his name's Colin. Emmy! This is actually, I love this drawing, okay? I love the rendering, I love the colors. But yeah, also the pandemic, and you can also kind of tell. Lewis. I forgot his surname. This is more recent. I think I did this while I was in university. So it would be like 2022 in the sketchbook. Okay, so after the pandemic, I took a huge break from drawing because I just didn't feel like I resonated that much with my drawings, and I just took a break. Then I went back to drawing. Yeah, when I went to university, that was 2022. This sketchbook was mostly university drawings because it's the sketchbook I brought to university. This is old. I did this when I was like 14, I think. This too. And this was when I just started university. I sort of got back into drawing a little bit. This was for one of my classes. Actually, the other one was also for one of my classes. I think taking drawing classes in university reminded me of how much I enjoyed drawing, and I honestly think that inspired me to get back into drawing. Some pointillism. Then I started drawing more freely because my classes were getting boring. And these are just some random sketches. This is kind of cute. I love this. She looks so happy. It was also for my visual expression class. This was for like a print that I wanted to make. I didn't end up using it either. This was also for one of my classes. This is interesting because it's another version of my sketches, just like for what I wanted to make in one of my clothing collections. It's just more laid out. This is a drawing I did in the mirror myself. This was October 2022. And that is it. Now we're gonna get into when I started expressing myself more in my sketchbooks, which is something I didn't really do. This sketchbook, yeah, I actually started it in 2016. So I started it when I was 12 or 13 or something. So these are My parents gave me such a hard time because of the bleeding nose. I love this one, inspired by the Timothy Chalamet Playdate edit. I like this. I like this whole layout. Some more stamp making. This is where we start getting interesting. So I stopped drawing for like, I think probably 2 years or like a year and a half. I didn't pick up a pencil. And then I started, you know, drawing again once in a while. And this isn't the first thing I did. I think I started, like this was a page that I left blank and then I later filled in. We'll just start here, whatever. I was 18 to 19. And I feel like I just started expressing myself a lot more in my pages and being more creative with the layouts. And that's what saved my art. It's what made me start doing art again, because I realized I can express myself in my art, because that wasn't really something I was doing. I was playing electric guitar at this time, and I was living in the city with my friend. These are drawings of when I was a baby. I love this page. I didn't like how this came out. These are kind of cool. This is cool. I like this. It's a oil pastel perspective drawing, I guess. Wednesday Addams. You can see behind me, I have the painting I did of this sketch. Why did I do this sketch? I don't know, just to see what it would look like. But my goal was to paint it. I did this in the airport, and then I posted a TikTok video and it got a whole bunch of views. I was just taking art a lot less seriously and doing what I actually like. It made me happy. So, I don't know, I feel like the feet were not a good choice. These two are big favorites of mine. I love this Phoebe watercolor painting. When I did this, I was so proud of it. I love everything about it. You can tell that I was gaining confidence because I started drawing myself and I started finishing those drawings. This is a cute French lady. In my mind, she's French. I was probably trying to let go of something. I don't know. I love this page. I think I've been waiting for you all my life. Then this is the twist. You turn this and it's another drawing and it still says, I think I've been waiting for you all my life. And then this fits into, this was inspired by true events. I really like this spread as well. It's kind of messy, but I think that's what I like about it. It's heavily inspired by Anything by Adrian Linka. It makes me feel the way that song makes me feel. These are also really cool. I love these. I love this one. I love the colors. Ace. I love the background and I love this one. It looks like it's fading a little bit. Oh well. 500 Seconds of Summer fan art, basically. I love this one because it's so messy and it's so outside of my comfort zone, but I love how it fits together. Oh, I also love this one. And this one is one, like, to me, it has like a sentimental meaning. Here we have the king, the one and only, I forgot his name. What's his name? Josh Hutcherson. Simple little sketch. This is when I was obsessed with the OC and I couldn't stop watching it. And I was obsessed with Seth Cohen more specifically. It's getting dark and my camera keeps running out of battery. Let's get through this. These are the last. Honestly, I'm at the end, basically. I love this one. I did it in a hotel in São Paulo when I went to visit. Inspired by Velvet Ring by Big Thief. I love making drawings inspired by songs that are in my head. And then we have this Gracie Abrams page. I used to have like this emotional connection with this song and with Gracie Abrams. We have this, I don't know, this is kind of interesting. 2024, so last year. I did this little bug for fun. I bet you only listen to your friends. Declan McKenna reference. Oh, this is my kitty, Charlie. Oh, I love this photo of him. I love my cat. I'm gonna be leaving him soon. I'm so devastated. I really love this sketchbook page. You know when like you just have an idea and it like turns out perfectly and you're just like so satisfied with the result? Jacob Elordi, because we have to keep up with the celebrity crush drawings. This is kind of cool. I remember hating it when I did it, but I kind of like it. I made a video and everything, but I didn't post it because I hated it so much. Why did I hate it so much? I don't know. And that is my favorite sketchbook so far. Now we have my last sketchbook. I will confess to you guys that I don't use my sketchbook as much anymore, so there aren't many drawings in this. I think I got this sketchbook at the beginning of last year, so like March or something. Samya inspired. I don't know if it's Samya or Samya. To me it's Samya, but then I hear people saying Samya. I don't know, but it feels weird saying Samya. But I love her. So at the time, that song, "You Take the Man Out of This Thing," was all over my For You page. And so was Jeremy Allen White. I was obsessed with him on Shameless. The bear was really good as well. I actually have a video of me making this. It's sort of chaotic because I was going through a whole bunch of emotions when I made it. And you can tell in the video. The cool thing is that it has a little secret drawing. This is a park in the city I was studying in. Praça da Liberdade in Belo Horizonte. I was kind of uninspired by this. I didn't love how it came out. I started getting a little bit uninspired with my sketchbook at this time, and I haven't really gotten back into the hang of it. This is from a drawing session with my friends because me and my friends made like a club in Belo Horizonte. It's public, anyone can join, and we just choose a place, meet up, and we'll just draw things that are in the place. So we went to a museum this day. I think this was the first edition. This is $2 pencils versus Prismacolors. Why did the $2 pencil drawing turn out so much better? This is just so much better. This looks terrible. It just shows you $2 pencils might be better than Prismacolors sometimes. This is also from one of the meetups. This is my boyfriend on the computer. He doesn't look like that. I think this is a bad drawing. Anyway, this is also my boyfriend. It was a still life drawing. I actually did a bunch of still life drawings because these were my applications for a school that I applied to. This was a stamp that I made. Oh my gosh, it's kind of cool. I did this recently. This was another edition of the drawing club. the most recent edition that I have attended. This is when me and my friend Louisa, we went to the zoo and we just drew a bunch of animals and stuff. It was very fun. This is a drawing I made recently. I'm not a huge fan of it. And that is all we have in the sketchbook. Unfortunately, I don't use my sketchbook that much anymore. I don't do like the spreads that I used to do, and that makes me sad. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's probably going to be a long one. Thank you for watching. I hope this inspired you to fill your sketchbooks. Follow my socials if you want to keep up with me. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe you can subscribe. I don't know. I will see you guys in the next video.